The mirror wasn't hanging, just propped against the kitchen wall, harmless and ordinary until I saw a reflection move in it. A figure shifted behind me, though the house was silent and I knew I was alone. It started on a Tuesday night. I'd moved into the house only a week earlier, a small rental tucked on the edge of town. It was quiet, almost too quiet. The kind of place where every creak in the floorboards seemed louder than it should have been. The mirror was left by the previous tenant, the landlord had said. Take it or toss it, doesn't matter. At first I liked it. A tall, full-length mirror with a tarnished silver frame, leaning just right to catch the dim glow from the kitchen light. But on that Tuesday, while pouring myself a glass of water, I noticed something wrong. My reflection was still, too still. I was raising the glass to my lips, but in the mirror, I wasn't. The reflection stared back at me, eyes locked, as though waiting. I froze, the glass trembling slightly in my hand. Then slowly, the reflection smiled. The water spilled down my wrist before I snapped my head toward the mirror again. My reflection was normal, now mirroring me perfectly. I told myself it was exhaustion. The move, late nights, stress. Still, when I went to bed, I shut the kitchen door, leaving the mirror behind. That night, I woke to the faint sound of tapping. A slow, deliberate tick-tick-tick like fingernails against glass. My room was at the far end of the hall, but the sound was distinct. It was coming from the kitchen. I lay in bed, holding my breath. Eventually, the noise stopped. But I couldn't shake the feeling that it hadn't ended. It had only paused because I was listening. The next morning, I avoided the mirror. I moved quickly past the kitchen, eyes averted. But something caught me, the smell. A faint metallic tang like rust hung in the air. It wasn't there before. By Thursday, I couldn't ignore it anymore. I stood in front of the mirror, gripping the frame with both hands. My reflection stared back, pale, tired, but mine. I forced myself to move, tilt my head, blink, raise my hand. The reflection followed perfectly. Relief flooded through me. And then just as I stepped away, I saw it. For the briefest moment, my reflection lingered, not moving when I did, like it was reluctant to let me go. That night, I dreamed of the kitchen. I stood in the doorway, staring at the mirror. The room behind me in the reflection wasn't my house. It was darker, decayed. The wallpaper peeled, the floor rotted, and there was someone standing just behind my shoulder. I woke with my heart racing, drenched in sweat. By Friday, I was unraveling. Every time I walked past the kitchen, I felt eyes on me. The air was colder, too noticeably colder when I stood near the mirror. I touched the glass once, and it was icy, far too cold for a piece of furniture sitting in a heated home. That evening, I called the landlord. Hey, about that mirror, did the last tenant leave it? There was a pause, then a careful answer. Yeah, she. She didn't take much with her. I asked, another pause. Look, if it bothers you, just cover it or move it to the garage. His voice was tight, evasive. My stomach sank. What happened to her? The landlord sighed. She stopped paying rent. Neighbors said she left town. That's all I know. He hung up before I could press further. That night, I covered the mirror with a bedsheet. I felt ridiculous, but the sense of relief was immediate. Out of sight, out of mind. I went to bed early, forcing myself not to think about it. At 3:12 a.m., I woke again. The sheet was gone. I stumbled to the kitchen, my chest tight. The mirror was bare, uncovered, leaning in its place as if mocking me. And in its surface, I saw the kitchen exactly as it was, except for one detail. In the reflection, the door to the basement was open. The problem was, my house didn't have a basement. I didn't sleep after that. I sat in the living room until dawn, lights on, refusing to glance at the kitchen. Every sound in the house, the groan of wood, the hum of the fridge felt magnified, sinister. By Saturday morning, I'd had enough. I gripped the mirror by its sides, intending to haul it out to the curb. But the instant I lifted it, something shifted in the glass. It wasn't me. It wasn't my kitchen. It was that decayed version again, walls blackened with mold, the ceiling sagging. And standing in the middle was a woman. Her hair hung in damp strands across her face, her hands at her sides. She was barefoot, her skin gray and slack, as though she hadn't seen the sun in years. She looked up directly at me, and she smiled. The mirror slipped from my grip, crashing to the floor, but it didn't shatter, not even a crack. I backed away, gasping, my throat tight. The woman's face pressed closer to the glass, fogging it as though she were breathing on her side of the world. Her lips moved. I couldn't hear the words, but I could read them. Let me out. I ran. I didn't pack, didn't lock the door. I left everything behind. Later, when I called the landlord to explain I wouldn't be staying, he didn't sound surprised. He just said, "You saw her, didn't you?" I hung up. I've never gone back for my things. And sometimes when I'm lying awake in my new place, I swear I hear faint tapping again, tick, tick, tick like fingernails against glass. I swear I hear faint tapping again, tick, tick, tick like fingernails against glass. I swear I hear faint tapping again, tick, tick, tick like fingernails against glass.